Ski sizing. What are we talking about?
This is going to be a quick one. So, yeah, ski sizing. Ball of spray. Thank you very much for someone's comment. I guess I should look whose comment it was.
Maybe.
Newbie questions about ski size by Lebowski. No, that's the last comment.
Oh, man. We got to get our S together.
I got to get my S. Yeah, by Lebowski. Just essentially, yeah.
What are the factors that affect how you should size your ski?
Height, weight.
Height, weight, what
skiing,
speed you're skiing.
Yeah, speed and
line
level.
length. Level.
And kind of what you're looking for in life. Like, my dad's a very talented skier, and he just wants to enjoy it.
Yeah, he doesn't want to go, like, cut line and push the envelope.
Deep water starts, I feel like, is something that we forget a lot. Because we don't think about it. I surprisingly do. I love it. You know when you just feel that perfect...
when you nail it?
Just when you nail that deep water start, it's just so satisfying. But, yeah, so we've got ski speed is probably the biggest one in the level that you're at. And then you have height, weight, which is probably just as big. I don't know why I said the first one was the biggest. And then what you're looking for, like I say, a lot of people are looking for easier deep water starts. A lot of people are looking for less stress on their back.
Yeah.
What is your kind of first rules? Because for me, I mess around and I feel like it's more of a preference thing than anything. But do you have any? You've been around this sport a hell of a lot longer than me. Do you have any kind of tips and tricks of how you would kind of go about sizing skis?
I mean, the first thing I would say is no matter what manufacturer you're looking for, looking to buy from, it would be great to be able to try it.
Yeah.
Demoing is always great. People don't always have that chance. But listen to the factory recommended sizing. Kind of start there. That's your jumping off point.
With a pinch of salt.
With a pinch of salt, but that should be your jumping off point, because what happens is, without getting too detailed, we talked about this, or maybe you'll talk about it. It's not just ski length; it's more ski width that matters to a high degree. We used to have back in the day HOTX, which was a wide version of a CX, which is a crossover ski.
Similar to the Omni.
It's like an Omni. It's like our current Omni
nowadays.
Yeah, just different rocker profile and different bevel package and stuff. But
so different ski.
Different ski,
but similar width.
But that TX was a wider ski. I have one here, and I could ride. So normally I ride a 66 or a 67 inch ski, right? Conventionally, but on that TX, slowing down to 34. I could ride a 65 because it was wider. It was over 7 inches wide at the wide point, and that's the key factor, because lift and kind of how high you ride in the water has a lot to do with the aspect ratio or the width profile you're showing. Trick skis, 40 inches, 44 inches long, 42 inches, but they're, and you're going 16, 18, but they're this wide.
Yeah, I guess.
And they're flat.
I guess a good example of that would be Chris Parrish. Kind of when the Omega Max came out, when he first came to the team, that was his first kind of major contribution. Was I think he's been a 68. I know he said he once set world records on a 69. Like, he's been on big skis, but going on that Omega, widening the platform by you probably know more than me. I was very, very fresh at this stage. I had no idea what all that was about.
Yeah, it depends, but it's 10 to 20 thou, so close to quarter inch.
Yeah, but he ended up skiing, I think it was on a 67 Omega Max, when he's realistically going to be skiing on a 68 on a standard width profile of ski. So that was kind of an interesting thing for me to see. Is like, so if you go wider, you're going to get slightly different pivots as well. Yeah, because like we go all the way back to Omni wide. That's what my dad's skiing on right now, and the way that it turns is quite different, and that's what I've noticed is it's way more of a smeary turn in the way that those wider skis work. Yeah, they can kind of turn better for having. So if you're a bigger guy, sometimes going wider can keep you that shorter platform. So the ski's going to rotate, and then you add width to support your weight, and it's not a perfect.
No,
it's not you can't go 63 inches and make it the width of a 69, and it's going to be the day, I'm sure. But it's a good way to kind of balance that.
There's definitely we've seen a trend, and I think talking a bit about crossover, it depends on also what your goals are, like you said. Yeah. So you're going to try to keep skiing the course. Are you trying to progress in the course? Are you a collegiate skier? Are you on the tail end of your career and you just want an easier deep water start? Things like that are why we kind of developed the whole crossover, segment to begin with. And currently with the new Omni, all new Omni for this next year, that's what HO was trying to do, was like refine that category so that, 80% of the skiers out there who may be listening to this have another option besides just the high-end Works 02 or Works 01. or something of that nature.
Yeah. So I guess to bring it back to the question is, how important is ski sizing? You're 180 pounds. You're a standard guy. You're 180 pounds. You're 5'11". Me, essentially. 5'11", 6 foot, 6'2", 66, 67, 68, trying to run 28 off 14 meters. Is ski sizing that important?
I mean, back to your point, which I think is a great point.
Like, if you're skiing again, looking for skis, like, how important, if you're buying a ski right now, how important is that?
Well, I think it goes back to, like, you've got to give yourself an opportunity to be able to make the right moves.
Yeah.
Skiing is about making right moves on the ski. And if you're looking for a new ski, what that means, if we just strip it away from skiing, you say you're looking for a better feeling.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're looking for a better feeling, let's bring it back to skiing. What does that mean? That means hopefully better stance on the ski, better feel under your feet, and more efficiency within reason in the right spots. And all that means, if you start right, you stay right. If you can improve how you move on the water, then you're going to end up with better outcomes.
Yeah.
And if you are sized too small or too big, that's going to significantly hamper your ability to make the right moves and have the right feel under your feet.
So just to give people kind of quick answer, ski's too big. What do you expect to feel?
I mean,
I put you on a 68 right now. What are you feeling?
A couple things, which is counterintuitive. One of them is instantly it's really hard to find center of the ski, because most often the wide part on the ski is usually ahead of your front foot. And with increasing wide spot ahead of your front foot, the wider you go, the bigger you go, the harder it is for an undersized person to find the front foot.
Mm-hmm.
So you end up, that center pressure moves forward, instantly it pushes you back, and you're kind of always chasing it. And you're always on the back of the ski. And then you add to that the fact that you're riding too high out of the water, probably because you're on too much surface area of a ski. Then you even more sit your butt back, because you feel fast. So you start trying to find speed control, and then you never find the front foot. And pretty soon you're just like hanging on for dear life. Your hair's on fire. You're on top of the water. You feel like you can't turn because the ski's out of the water. It's skimming. It's going to blow out, and you may not know any of this stuff consciously, but intuitively. You know that
sounds a lot like skiing in cold water.
Stuff doesn't feel right,
But that's something I was going to say. I think another reason why, I think I've never heard that been said like that, but another reason, like you say, is I was going to say they don't turn as well. That was going to be my point. But then, like you say, because of that, you're not going to have the ski in between you and the boat, and you're going to have a hard time finding that drive point. You're not going to have that platform to stand on. And so basically, essentially, to know a ski's too big, it's probably not going to turn as well. You're going to have a hard time finding the middle, finding that drive that you look for. Draggy can be one thing that I've noticed. If you go to a bigger ski, obviously you have more surface area in the water. If you don't have the weight to support it, it's going to probably cause maybe a touch more drag sometimes.
And
that obviously can be the same said to a smaller ski, but the big most common one is the ski's not going to turn quite as well. Hey.
So what about a smaller ski? If you're too small, what do you think people are going to feel or should be looking for?
Width is, I know for me, width is one thing that it just feels like more effort. Feels like I'm bogging down slightly more. And again, it just feels like I'm sad underwater a touch. Deep water starts are hard work as well on smaller skis. But feeling like the ski's very happy to turn is someone of my level, I would say. I noticed that the skis a lot easier to turn, but the drive just doesn't quite get me there the same way.
Explain drive. What do you mean when you say drive?
When I get the ski in between me and the boat, it's turned well, and I'm going towards that first wake. I just don't feel like there's that same acceleration there. I don't feel like there's that same feedback, and I have too much control over it. So if I skied on a 65 right now, I'm gonna get it again at 180, 190 off season. I'm gonna be able to turn it. I'm gonna be able to push it around as much as I like. I'm probably gonna have an easy job. I'm probably gonna have an easy job of finding balance, as in at the middle of the ski, but I'm maybe not gonna have that same balance that I would have without that platform.
Shorter wheelbase.
Yeah. But it's gonna be easy to move around and push around, and I'm gonna feel invincible on it. But my boy count's probably not going to be there. And like you say, it's going to turn, but you don't quite have that wheelbase to go on. And again, this may be hard for a lot of people to feel, but that's kind of intuitive. It's about people seeing it, and again, checking the recommended sizings. if you're 120 on a 68, you're probably a little light for that.
Yeah, and I would say, just kind of throw it out there, if you are looking for a new ski and you do get to demo or try a friend's ski, one of the best things you can do is figure out how to get a hold of a pro. Send us a message, reach out via email, find a expert on GiveGo, take a video of that new ski ride, and send it to somebody who knows, and they can usually instantly kind of tell you, yes, it looks good, no, it doesn't, or the size is great, but you need to tweak the binding placement or fin or whatever.
Yeah. So it's very personal. Like Charlie Ross is maybe, I don't know, I don't want to kind of talk out of place, but he's 110, 120 pounds.
I don't know. Cali Pro-Am, we were on the mic together, and I asked him, and I can't remember. I think
he's 125.
He's under 130, maybe.
Yeah, he's under 130. So again, 50 pounds lighter than me. I'm currently skiing on a 66 or a medium Works 02. Yeah. He's on a 67. Yeah. D3 Ion. So he's on a bigger ski than me at 50 pounds less.
Yeah.
So that's a big thing. His size isn't, and that's kind of maybe a good question is, right, you're on Ski It Again or a second-hand site, whatever you want to be, and you find a killer deal. I find a 68, I don't know,
A1.
Pro, A1, whatever it is, and I'm like, that's a deal. I want to get myself that ski. My ski's dying. I want to try something else maybe. I want to feel a history of skiing. I don't know.
You should.
Is it worth? How important is that? Am I going to be able to ski? I'm just kind of I'm a weekend skier. I'm enjoying it, but would you get that? Because I know my answer. But
if I was going to ski at 30 miles an hour, then I would ride. I would say, okay, 68 is going to work. But if I'm trying to ski at my kind of top speed and develop some short line skills, get in 22, 28.
But if you say you're not. And that's the thing. If you're, and I do feel like that's important because we get a lot of questions. You get a lot of people saying, "Hey, I found this ski. It's a 68. Is that okay? Is the sizing good?" And it's like, I think it's worth waiting or maybe investing extra and getting the size that is truly right for you.
Think about skiing. What is skiing? Skiing is, in its most simple, pure form, you as an individual are trying to go have an experience on the water. The ski isn't the centerpiece of that experience. The ski should be something that feels so natural, that works with you, that you don't even feel the ski. Yeah. You're just out there doing this act we call skiing, and you have an epic morning when it's glassy water, and you have all the people you love in the boat. That's it. So the ski should be, it's like, right, focus on it, get it set up, find the right optimized shape and design for you, and then once you get it set, it's out of the way, and now you can focus on your movements and your feeling and that experience.
But getting that startup, like you say, using those skier, I mean, essentially, to answer the question in a 15-minute podcast, check your recommended website. Check the website for it. All of them should have it. Or
a boat show. Listen to the experts.
Yeah,
and with a grain of salt, because you should also not be afraid to reach out to experts in the field. To corroborate what somebody says.
And there's different opinions and there's different things, but at the end of the day, ski sizing is quite important. And again, using your intuition, if you feel like the thing's turning away too hard and you just can't get there, maybe try a bigger ski. If you feel like the ski's maybe not turning so well, but it feels fantastic behind the boat, maybe you feel drive, but you're not quite getting there. You're now not getting that stability that you would expect comes with a bigger ski. Maybe you want to do big of a ski, play around. I mean, I know nearly any single person here would let their friend try their ski. I let people try my skis. So I say, hey, that a friend that's got a 66 of yours, maybe ski that's a 67. Say, hey, do you fancy swapping and feeling the difference in size? Same ski, different size, and go for that. Use your intuition, learn about it. It's an interesting feeling. It's one that I've been lucky to have this last year of going 66, 67, 66, and it's for sure interesting.
That I think is a good closing point. It's not as critical often as people think it is, but you do need to be within the range. Yeah. Like the range is a little bigger maybe. Like you can ride a 6 or a 7 potentially on a given day.
Would you say it's probably more important for people who are bigger boned?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And that's, like, I guess we've been kind of looking at someone that's 180, maybe going towards someone that's 225, 230, 250.
It's easy to get on an undersized ski in that regard, and then you're screwed. Yeah,
that's when, again, deep water starts going to be a lot of effort, and that's a consideration, for a lot of people that have full-time jobs that just want to do this sport because they love it. You get older, you get to be a dad, you get to enjoy life a little more. get a ski that's wider, get a ski that's slightly bigger, and I think you'll find going towards those Omnis, and if you're trying to run the kind of 22 and stuff, getting the wider ski, it's going to save you a lot more energy on your deep starts, and it will feel better than you imagine. Don't cling to that tournament level ski. Yeah.
It's going to be more fun in the course.
Yeah.
I mean, we've seen Will Asher run 41 off on an Omni.
Yeah.
I've run, 35 off on an Omni.
Yeah.
It's like those skis are very capable.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people cling to, maybe this is a point that I think maybe we should have started with. A lot of people cling to the skis that they had when they were 20.
Yeah.
And you see people
we've come a long way
rocking around with, but it's not even we've come a long way, whatever. Of course we've come a long way, but I feel like a lot of people are trying to ride these same skis, and then now they've grown up, they've gained a little puppy fat. Hey, as soon as I quit professional skiing, I'm probably going to gain a lot of puppy fat. Like, it's like you get older, you have responsibilities. Some people do put on weight, and that's how it is. But then they're still sticking on these 66s that worked 10 years ago when they were 100 pounds less.
Yep.
And it's like, hey, I think we need to
talk. Time.
We need to talk about ski size, and that's probably the most important bit, is get a ski that's going to float you.
Yeah.
You know?
And if you have more questions, comment below.
Mm-hmm.
Shoot us your conundrum.
Yep.
Or your options you're looking at.
DM us.
We'll help you.
We will try.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
Yeah. Thank you very much. See you in the next one.
Go water ski.